mentioned that when I was 18, I got to live out one of my bucket list items and go to 2 of my dream places. I know I already talked about my adventure to New Zealand and Australia, but that was mostly overshadowed by the fact that I met Fifth Harmony on that trip. So this is for you guys. My dream to go to Australia orchestrated when I was little, and I'd watch Steve Irwin all the time. R.I.P. to that amazing man, by the way. When he was alive, I wanted to meet him and work with animals just like him. It turned me into a bit of a zoologist when I was 6 going on 12. I even spent a day observing a freaking yellow jacket in my house when I was sick with a cold. I watched it and took notes. It was fun. I even fed it honey on a cracker and wrote this note saying, "Yellow jackets are meh about crackers, but they seem to love honey." When Steve Irwin passed away, it broke my heart. He was my first celebrity idol, and he got me to love animals in Australia. So when I finally got the opportunity, I jumped. Going to New Zealand was an added bonus because I'm a fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There were 2 memorable things about New Zealand. One of them was, of course, visiting Hobbiton. I even got to see inside one of the houses, and it was more beautiful in person than I remembered in the movie. I swear I could have lived in it and been happy for life. I even went to the Green Dragon Inn, but unfortunately, since it was a school trip, we only had the non-alcoholic drinks. Another thing is how many stray cats I saw everywhere I went. I know, stray cats are normal, and in New York you see them all the time. The amount of cats I saw in New Zealand was 2, if not 3 times as many as I've seen here. And they were all of different varieties instead of just seeing the same 10 cats. It was pure heaven. I even saw kittens. In Australia, I saw all of these amazing creatures up close and personal. For example, I got to walk around with wallabies, saw some of the biggest alligators I've ever seen, and I even hugged a koala bear. They are so cute, by the way. The funny thing about that koala bear was that it peed on the person before me and pooped on the person that hugged after me. So for me, it was a good noodle and just hugged me. I loved it and I didn't want to let it go, but I had to. I'm sure you guys have heard of and seen the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes. Let me tell you something interesting. Obviously, the real thing didn't look as it is drawn in a cartoon. However, they were onto something about having him constantly spinning around. In wildlife, the devil runs very fast and wherever it needs or wants to. But in captivity, they feel trapped and limited. To control that stress, they just run in circles constantly. Technically, the Tasmanian Devil is supposed to be a dangerous wild animal that you never want to mess with. However, when I first saw that little guy running around, I thought, oh my god, it looks like a puppy and I want it. And another thing, there were bats flying around Australian skies like it was nothing. And I am not talking about 1 or 2 at a time. I'm talking about 10 or more, like geese going south for the winter. It was awesome. I got to go to a zoo or an aquarium almost every day of the week when I was there. It was pure heaven because I love zoos. And I even went into the spider exhibit. And that is where heaven descended into hell until I left. These freaking spiders weren't even in glass cases. We all just walked through a room of free giant spiders on their webs. I was mortified because I have arachnophobia, even though I love Spider-Man. Those things were huge, way too free, and way too close. The funny thing that got me thinking of this video idea is that I joked about moving to Australia to a friend over the phone, and he told me people who want to move there must have a death wish. And after seeing some of those animals up close, I knew that he had a point, and kudos to Australians for living that exciting and awesome lifestyle. Honestly though, I'd still want to move there. First off, there were zooms everywhere, and it was so warm, and there was just so much nature. Second, hey, that would be an epic way to go. Toodles!